The internet is quite an amazing thing, but it is also a very big mess. When I first heard of the 5 steps experiment, I researched the web via Google, and I typed the 5 steps, and all I got was business answers, how to start your business in 5 days, etc., etc. And words like spiritism, exorcism, possession would give me stupid results. Anyway, so after a few minutes, I decided to go into more obscure websites. Obscure, not forums mainly. Forums in French and in English. Forums were by far the best way of learning, and it was also on forums that I met the people who you see in this documentary. The mirror experiment is quite special. It is unique, actually. But the one thing that seems to be close to it is scrying. Not crying, scrying. It is a word derived from the word to describe. John Dee is the most famous scryer. On the internet you can find a lot of things about him. He was the, let's say, official magician of Queen Victoria. Scrying can be done with any reflective object, any reflective surface. You have to gaze at it and something is supposed to happen. The 5 steps is pretty similar, but specific because it asks you to look into the mirror. Happy gazing and be blessed. Well, let's see if the following person in Munich was blessed or not. This is where I left you, I believe, on my way to Munich. I arrived quite late, so I couldn't do anything. I had to wait until the following morning, where the weather was disgusting, to see the first person. A young woman called Nora. Nora didn't want to be filmed or even heard on camera, but when I told her I was going to make a documentary and fly to Munich, she wanted to testify anyway about her husband, Michi in German, Michael, we should call him in English. Michi had made the experiment with the mirror that you are seeing at the moment. My German is not very good, but I understand enough to say that apparently Michi was holding on the top of the mirror, and after a few seconds he fell flat on the floor. This is where she found him. He was unconscious for a few minutes, but she managed to wake him up. When he woke up, he told her about this terrible nightmare that he saw in the mirror. He saw himself strangling her, Nora, his wife, and his own son in the night. Michi was deeply troubled by this vision. He didn't want to run the risk of actually doing this in real life. Michi left. Michi left his wife and his son alone. Of course, she hopes he will come back. She has news of him sometimes, but she cannot say when he will knock on the door if he ever does again. Luckily, by the afternoon, the weather had cleared off. It was now beautiful and sunny. Unluckily, for some reason, I don't know what I did with my camera, I could not get the focus to be sharp, so I have to apologize for the images that you're seeing as I was discovering Munich. The following person I was going to meet in Munich was an exchange student from Greece. Alessandra was her name. She would rather explain herself in Greek in order to be more precise.
Λοιπόν, εδώ είχα την εμπειρία, σε αυτή τη γωνία εκεί πέρα, και ήταν πάρα πολύ έντονη, αλλά όμορφα έντονη. Μπορώ να πω ήταν σχεδόν σαν... πώς να το πω αυτό... Ήτανε σαν αναγέννηση. Ναι. Είδα δηλαδή ότι τον αληθινό μου εαυτό και ποιες είναι οι δυνατότητές μου και τι μπορώ, γιατί είμαι εδώ πέρα και πώς μπορώ να το αποκτήσω αυτό, πώς μπορώ να το κάνω πραγματικότητα. Ήταν αυτό που πάντα ήθελα να μάθω. Και το έμαθα. Το έμαθα, ήταν καταπληκτικό. Αλήθεια. Δεν μπορώ να το περιγράψω διαφορετικά, δεν μπορείς να την περιγράψεις αυτή την εμπειρία, απλώς τη ζεις.
An enlightenment. That is a word that came back many times when I spoke with people on forums. The following person I was going to see was named Carl. Carl was a business consultant, a very confident man, very nice as well. A little bit like John, who you saw in the first part of my documentary, Carl was absolutely sure that he had been enlightened by this experience. I'm not convinced yet that this is the word that he should use.
Es begann recht sanft und seicht an für sich. Und auf einmal, wie soll ich es beschreiben? Wie wenn ich durch meine Augen im Spiegel nach unten in meine Seele, in mein Herz geschaut habe. Es war so weit und Und da war dieses Licht. Und es hat mir diese Glückseligkeit gegeben. Es war eine fantastische Erfahrung. Deshalb weiß ich jetzt nicht, wer der Urheber der ganzen Sache ist. Woher das kommt. Ja, ich weiß nicht, vielleicht war es ja überhaupt nicht über das Internet. Vielleicht war ich ja jemand, der benutzt wurde als Channel, sodass ich dann diese Erfahrung weitergeben kann an andere. Ich hab darüber nachgedacht, ob ich mit Freunden dieses Experiment machen soll. Und vielleicht sollte ich das tun. Vielleicht war das ein Wink des Schicksals für mich. Vielleicht ist das meine Berufung, dass ich die Glückseligkeit zurückbringe auf die Welt. Ja, das ist eine gute Idee.
After I filmed, Carl kept talking about the experiment. His erratic attitude was troubling, I thought, and a bit disturbing too, if I may add. I'm not sure whether he will go on or not with this idea you just witnessed of making the 5 steps experience public and well known. If he does, I wish him all the best, but I also wish he thinks about it one more time before getting carried away. Hey people, that had been a busy day. There was one more person I was supposed to see in this apartment, but he cancelled at the last moment. So that was it for this windy Munich. I was taking the Lufthansa shuttle to take me to the airport and hop onto a plane that would take me back at home to Paris.